Welcome to STL City Showdown. I'm AJ, and this is Steve. This is our first episode of the season. This is year 4 for City, and this is what, year 3 for us?
Yep. Started off with a bang.
Ooh. If you guys are new to listening to us, we take a little different with the podcast. You get the people who are super analytical. That's your Matt Baker, who gives you a lot of news. Great podcast with those guys. We kind of take a little different. We format this that it's more of kind of a game show approach. We're going to start out today with Goal or No Goal is the title of our first game.
So I can go first. What we do is we look at what you are saying. We look at what you are saying because we are the reaction podcast. This is what we do. Like, we're just two dudes who have families and we have lives, but we also really dig the soccer team. And we don't try to pretend to be analysts. We don't try to kind of dig down information we don't understand. We see with our eyes and we see with our hearts and we understand what we dig. And we have comments, but we don't know what you're saying. And we kind of say if to each other is what you're saying is way off or if it makes sense. So if we agree, we say goal. If we agree, we say no goal. Get it? Soccer. Hee hee. All right. So I'll go first. On Reddit from Giggs Boson. Giggs Boson says, well, I wasn't bored, so I'll take it. Goal or no goal. That wasn't a boring match.
Well, if we're talking about just saying it's not a boring match, of course, I'm going to say goal, right? But I think what he's trying to say is that, yeah, it sucks that it was a tie, but at least it was entertaining. I'm going to say no goal to that.
I would too, because at times it definitely was a boring match. At times it doesn't really seem like a lot was happening. But I will say that it was interesting to see like we could actually pass again, that we can actually control the ball. It seemed like after that first 10 games of 23, like we get it. The energy of soccer is there, but like the possession was bad and we really didn't do much after that. And it's been 2.5 years of just 2 passes and we lose the ball, or we pass a couple times in the backfield and then we lose the ball, or we get in the final third and we lost the ball. And it's just like, good. At least today it seemed like they were at least able to connect a lot. I think that would definitely not be boring to be able to see our team can actually do the thing you have to do in soccer, which is great. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to kind of piggyback on this. You know how they say don't answer a question with the answer, or I'm dying here. Don't answer a question with a question. I'm going to kind of do the same thing here, and I'm going to use another goal or no goal to kind of piggyback on yours. And that's Matt Joe Pete. He or she said that was simultaneously both frustrating and way better than expected. This is the reason why I say no goal to that last one, is because, yes, it was kind of frustrating, but at least we got to see some exciting soccer. But the thing is this team actually looked proficient. Don't forget, Steve, Charlotte was number 7 in the entire league. Number 7 out of 30 teams. That's about the top 25%-ish, give or take. That's not too shabby, assuming that they're still just as good as they were last year, with the potential of being better or worse. We held our own. In fact, for most of the game, I would argue we were by far the better team. There was that 25-minute stretch, I would say, in the second half that they were kind of really putting pressure on us. That's when they scored the goal and a little bit after that. But we actually look proficient. You had mentioned about the passing. That's something that we had kind of talked about at halftime, is that the passing had a purpose. It wasn't just simply, look around. Okay, I want to look for the best pass and just, I want to pass to somebody. And then ultimately they pass backwards, right? This team, they make quick decisions. They see somebody's open that's able to progress the ball. And we did it so much, so much.
Yeah, no, it felt good to actually feel like there was an actual plan. And that felt good. And that actually leads me into my next goal or no goal. I don't know about you, but definitely most of last year, whenever we got into this second half of the season where a lot of the fans were just pining for some sort of a playoff spot, I got to the point where it was just irritating to watch this team. Once I started, and then if you guys don't involve yourself in any of like the goal guessing games on Discord, Becca on Discord, on the St. Louis City Discord, does a really cool goal guessing game where it's a prediction where you can predict the goals for each game and a score. Once last year, I got to where I stopped predicting wins and then even ties. I
Mhm.
began hate watching this team. And that is like I stopped really quote unquote rooting for the team. It was just like, well, are we gonna give up a goal late in the game to cost us to win? When is it gonna happen? It was waiting for the other shoe to fall instead of having fun watching this team. And it was just because the team was poorly managed. It didn't seem like there was any life on the field. And that brings me to CBM14 on Reddit says, it feels good not to hate watch the team play while this is promising. So goal or no goal, couple, I guess it's a double goal or no goal. It's fun to not hate watch this team and they're promising.
Yeah, I would say like that's a brace.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I mean, I don't think I was like hate watching, but I think I was just like that kind of depressed where you were just like, okay, how are they going to lose again today? It's not like I was rooting for it as much as hate watching in that sense. But oh man, like how many times did we say last year, how are they going to lose again? You
Yep.
know, absolutely. Yeah. Do you give it a brace too?
Yeah, I do because it is both. Like, yes, we have yet another draw, and we gave up another win. We gave up points in a winning position again. That is definitely frustrating, but it wasn't demoralizing watching this team play. I think that's the thing last year. It started becoming demoralizing. We did it because we still love the team. We have a thing to do here, but it was just like I can tell it's not going to be fun today because we are just not going to score. We're not going to pass well. We're going to look like a poor team. The highlight of our season last year was finishing higher than Sporting KC on the table. I think everyone should be honest. Like that was the highlight
So,
of the season.
goal or no goal. Okay, this isn't a Reddit user. Goal or no goal. That's pretty pathetic that your simple existence is just to be
Yep.
Sporting Case.
Yeah, it was. Definitely not that's not conducive for an exciting soccer season. It's not conducive. You can't have that. You have to have some sort of excitement, some sort of thing. I think having the most of the roster completely turned over. I've commented now multiple times to you that if you guys didn't pay attention, maybe you didn't notice it. On the field, the 10 men on the field, not counting Berkey, the team was completely turned over since 2023. The starting 10 on the field, none of those players started for us in 2023 on that starting team. Now, had Leuven played, then yeah, that would have been it. But like what we saw was a completely different team with a completely different manager, with a completely different sporting director. And I think we
For
saw
Berkey, like you said.
Sever Berge, but you know, he's in the pipes, if you will. But like I think what we are seeing hopefully should be the guidance for the team for the rest of the season. I did note that I wonder if we're going to take almost like a football approach, an NFL approach, where we have scripts for each team. Like the script for this game was clearly going to
Oh,
be high
absolutely.
possession because Charlotte likes to just give up possession. They don't really need it, and they want to sit back and they want to try to get possession there. What are we going to do? We go up against San Diego next week, who are very fast and very quick, and they love scoring quickly. What are we going to do there? Are we going to go to more of a four back? Are we going to become more defensive in our play there? And it'll be interesting to see if we have um, the personnel for that, if you will.
I have to jump in because that's such a great kind of question. I think there's some givens here. I think by large, we're going to be a three-back system, 3-4-3. If you want, you can call it a 3-4-2-1, if you will. I really think that's going to happen. And by the nature of this formation, what we saw today is the progression is going to be on the wings. You have a really weak midfield because you only have two midfielders in the system as opposed to like a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, something like that, or a 4-4-2 diamond, which we played a lot, especially in our with Bradley Carnell. I think that's going to be a given for sure. Possession, it does seem like DeMay, and he said this, that he does like possession and things like that. I think where you're going to see variations is, okay, are you going to have more of an offensive wing back out there, which is what you usually use with this formation? Or do you switch to more of a defensive wing back so that they can come back? And
Mm-hmm.
maybe there's players that can, play better on the run, like you said, against faster players. So like Saint Ben, would be a great player that might be able to pair up against some of the faster players, for instance. But anyways, that's why I'm just kind of thinking, and that's a great point. They're definitely going to script out, I think, to different things like faster players. How do you combat that?
Yeah.
Well,
What did you
there's
think
multiple.
about McSorley's impact when he came in, replacing Saint Ben? He replaced a super fast player, and he's got that big skill. He's got that big leg. And the commenters were even like, "Oh, here comes McSorley in for Saint Ben," and like I was like, "Okay, maybe we'll score." And then what happened?
Okay. I'm going to come back to this. Do you have any more goal or no goals? Because that's going to be perfect for our next game.
No, I do not.
Okay, so can I do it? Can I do it?
Do it.
Oh, wait. No, we got to follow our script. Man, we're going to put you guys in this.
Script the blip.
Script the what?
Script the blip. I don't know.
Okay.
Hey, man, hey,
we're gonna
just roll with it, though. That's fine.
roll with it. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. He
Let's
says
do it.
roll with it. Okay, we're going to do Would You Rather. It's one of my favorite games, especially when you get the really cringy questions and everybody's looking at you at the table. That's like so awkward. It's really fun when you do it to other people, though. Okay, anyways, would you rather? Everybody knows this game, right? You have to pick one, and usually we try to pick at the extremes. Here we go. The first would you rather. In the next game, with no substitutions, and you have to pick one or the other, you can't put both on the field. Would you rather have McSorley or Saint Ben?
I'm going to say Saint Ben all the time. Yes, McSorley had that amazing
Ooh.
pass to who did he pass it to for how to get that score?
Oh, Betcher.
Betcher.
Betcher with that great
So yeah,
pass.
he got that ball and he passed it to Betcher, and Betcher then made that amazing pass, which hopefully this is good coaching. However, McSorley is still a youngin. McSorley still has a weird place on this team. I would rather have Saint Ben because of his speed, because of his ability to make things happen. After that score, I'm not really sure how much of an impact McSorley had. Like McSorley had that assist, probably not going to show up on many stat sheets, but after that, we didn't really hear his name the rest of the game. When we're going up against San Diego, I definitely need speed out there. I definitely need speed. I'd rather have Saint Ben every time. What about you?
Okay, I am a huge Saint Ben fan. I love his speed and everything, but I think McSorley, maybe especially as he gets more experience with the first team, I feel like could be something relatively special. I'm not going to say he's going to be a designated player level in his career, but I think he could definitely be that special player on the team that you just love having. I think I kind of want to see him out there more because you're right. He had that amazing pass to Betcher, who had even a better pass, by the way. But also there was that one Orozco on the right part of the box where he kind of kicked it in, and then it looked like he was kind of going for goal. And then you saw McSorley kind of like foot diving for it.
Yep.
There's a few times kind of like that McSorley had a chance. He also had that chance where he was almost 1v1 with the goalkeeper and kind of missed it. It would have been a really hard shot. Probably the only shot he had was maybe the chip it over the goalkeeper, but he did have that. I would say if we were going up against a generic, like if I didn't know who we were playing next week, I'm picking McSorley. I agree with you. If you're going up against a speedy team, man, Saint Ben is got to be our fastest player easily. But
I wonder if he's faster than Hartle.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think Saint Ben is like in the top 20 or something in the league. Nice. I think I'll have to look that up. Maybe next week we'll have that.
Okay. We've got a really amazing goalie. I think we can all goalkeeper. I think we can all agree with that. Berkey is possibly one of the best. I saw some moves from him today, but not a ton. And he let a goal in. And I think maybe a couple years ago, 23, he stops that goal pretty easily. So would you rather have Roman Berkey signed as a DP for the next 2 years, which is great, or we've done this before, or Ben Lund, and that money goes to the DP striker?
Oh, no, geez, this is easy. This is absolutely easy. I mean, I like Berkey because he's kind of the face of the team. You know, everybody around town knows him, right? He's kind of like the Yadier Molina for at least us. Maybe not to the same degree as Yadi, but you need that striker because the other thing is Ben Lund. I think he's a great goalkeeper. I think
yes, he is.
I'm not saying he's the top 10 in the MLS, but he's top 17, so very serviceable, something like that, maybe top 15, right in the middle. Yeah. I'm okay with that, right? But the thing is, what we saw today is, man, we have some progression. Man, it was some beautiful progression. and we were getting to the final third, especially at the beginning game. But Steve, here's the thing. A team, I don't care, even the worst team, they're not just going to let you sit there and have possession and be in the final third the entire game. You have to make something out of this at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you an example. If you're going to make sugar cookies and you forget to put sugar in there, how's that going to taste? It's going to taste like crap, right? You have to have that final ingredient in there to actually make something out of this. Like, this team has a lot of what you need, but guess what? You got to score goals.
Yeah, I think that was what's missing today for sure. We didn't have like that finished type striker. So we scored a goal, so did they. Their goalie had to have a lot more saves. And he ended a FOTMOP score of 8.1. In fact, he was their highest rated player on their field. Hartle had an 8.8. He was the player of the match, man of the match.
Absolutely.
Berkey had a 6.6. Berkey had 2 saves. And this is against a team that is not going to try to score a lot. They're not big on possession. I'm kind of worried what's going to happen with San Diego next week, because San Diego likes to bomb it in. So, well, I guess we'll see. I'm not putting on the I'm worried about Berkey hat, but still, like, could that money have been spent? I think last year was a lost cause, and I was at the game where they announced Berkey's signing. I was at that where they actually did like the flash thing, and they showed the pin, and then you look up and it's Berkey. Like, I honestly think that was probably more of a save face. Let's save this season. Let's give the fans something what they want. They want the big man between the pipes, but they did it at the expense of being able to get a big name striker in here. I think they did. I think it was reactionary. I think there was Diego worried about losing more money, and they just did that. They just did anything. Oh, let's make him a DP again. And it's just like, we don't have to do that. We don't have to make our goalie one of our DPs. That's ridiculous. So, like, yeah, that was just. Here's another real quick. I was at the party this morning. I didn't go to the actual game, but I was at the third home game of our history, and my son was with me, and it snowed that night. It was like 20 degrees, and it was awful, so cold. I mean, I had 3 layers. I could not get warm. Would you rather have a home opener like today in the cold? Imagine if it was going to be at 7:00 tonight. It's probably going to be in the 20s tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got a blessing that we got the early start game. Would you rather have a home opener, freezing cold, below freezing, snowy, it kind of miserable like that, or have a nice July 95-degree home opener with like 85% humidity?
Oh, this is easy for me. I hate cold. Like, when it's 70 degrees outside, I'm still cold. So I would rather have 85 degrees, which is the perfect temperature. 85% humidity, yeah, it's a little sticky, but as long as you're not doing too much, whatever. I'm in shorts, I'm in a kit, no big deal. I don't want to deal with that crap cold.
Yeah.
Forget that. So yeah, I'm going to pick that July heat all the time.
I'm like you, man. I don't wake up until it's like 87 degrees. When I wake up, when I step outside, I'm like, everything hurts. That's when I love being outside. So yeah, I'm with you. I hate it. Like, it was a memorable night. We played San Jose. It was a very memorable night because it was so miserable. Klaus scored a brace, I believe, and we won 3-1. And like, it was just so electric in that stadium. But it was so cold. And I would love to have been out there in shorts. I would. Oh my God. St. Louis nights, 85 degrees at night with high humidity. Forget about it. It's cook me. All right.
Okay. So speaking of kids, and we're not going to harp on this too. Don't turn off the podcast, guys. Okay. I know this is so controversial. Okay. Let's talk about these kits. And by the way, I got my little stepdaughter kit because she really loved the gold.
Let's be honest.
Look at this.
That's for you.
Look at this tiny kit. That's so cute. Okay. So here's the would you rather. Would you rather have the kit be almost the exact same thing year after year? So think of the Cardinals, right? Like, it's always a birds on the bat, it's white and then gray, and then that's it, right? Would you rather have it safe, predictable, and pretty decent every single time? Or would you rather have it so they're always swinging for the fences? Now, here's the thing. You can't have in between. So I'm talking about like every single time they're putting something kind of crazy out there, and it's either going to be amazingly awesome or it's going to be a complete miss. Nothing in between. Which one do you pick?
I'm going to go for the unique. Only because think about the Cardinals, your example of the Cardinals, the exact same all the time. Remember what happened for a few seasons in the 80s, what they did with the powder blue? How memorable is that? And then they snap back to our normal ones. Yeah, we commented before. I am definitely not a fan of that thing, but if we only stick to the red, if we only stick to the red, we're never going to have interesting kits, right? If we only stick to that one color palette, we're never going to have anything interesting. At least this way, like it or not, that thing is interesting. That thing gets people talking. And that's what the team cares about. The team cares about sales and getting people talking. I did see a lot. I'm not going to say I saw a ton, but I saw more than a handful of people wearing those already. And it's before the season even started. And like you had commented, the team announced about a week before the home game that they were going to wear that today. And I wonder if more people knew ahead of time, they would have worn theirs if they bought it already. So yeah, most certainly.
Absolutely.
You look at LAFC, they stick with the same color pattern. Now they've only been in the league for a handful of years. Like they're a pretty new team as well. But yeah, the Red Bull, they're usually just red or white. And you recognize it's brand recognition, but it's not super exciting. Love it or hate it. Love it or hate it. That thing is there. And they wore it today. They wore it on a match, and it looked fine on the field.
Yeah. I'm going to say I would rather take a chance too. Partly because I'm artistic, I'm a
Yeah.
musician and all that stuff. I like to see something different. Like I don't want the same thing over and over again. And then also, honestly, if you're going to buy the different kits, like you want it to be personable, like it has
Yeah.
different character and stuff like that. Yeah. I agree with a
You
lot of
know,
people it missed, but it actually looked pretty decent on the field.
when people first saw the Columbus kit with the goosebumps with the drips,
Oh
people
yeah.
hated that at first. I thought it was dope. I thought that was a super interesting, super kind of like, yep, that you went for it. I liked it, and I don't know, man. At least the team did something. I know, like they were called boring with this because people didn't get the arch blades. I didn't get that at first. I had to research what the hell those were, and then realized they were arch blades, and they really tied to the city. I know the
Yeah.
team. A lot of people still don't like the Confluence kit, but it is a unique thing. It is the rivers, and it is everyone was different. Like that was super neat. And then with the collars, I mean, we don't have to get into that. We don't have to revisit that. The collar is
By
stupid,
the way,
but
what's that on your neck?
oh yeah. So I like supporting our supporter groups. I have the Riot Girls scarf there. This is their new scarf that they have, and
Oh, that is so
it's
dope.
it is. It's a really cool thing. It's double sided, of course.
Can you describe it for our Apple and
Yeah.
Spotify
So
peeps?
this is a summer scarf I found out today, and it has double sides, and it's got cheetah print on one side, the rainbow colors on one side. On the other side, it says St. Louis Punks, and it is a trans acceptance, trans recognition scarf. And so I bought that today as a way to support a supporter group who is supporting people that I care about as well. So I do like it, and it made a big impact.
Okay, we're not obviously a commercial or affiliated, but how much was it?
This was only $15. Yeah, the
I
one
want one.
behind me,
I
the
want
the,
one
the
now.
winter one was only 20. And they have a website, and you can buy like a whole, like they're $30, and you can buy like their whole kind of merch thing. But the punks are like a really cool group. They really do a lot of community support. I also have the Luligans back there, the Mandalorians. I bought that towel from them. That's my whole thing with Durkin to start. So like I do try to support the groups that support our community. So I thought I really wanted to go down and get this today. Um, yeah. So thank you for asking. So I really do dig this scarf. So yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I got one last would you rather, and I don't know if you have one, but this kind of goes along with the kits about, saying same or taking a chance. On the feed, they had talked about Charlotte only had 2 draws last year. So they basically, in 34
What?
games, either won or lost. No joke.
What? You can do that?
Yeah, I know. So here's my question, right? Now, sometimes I know, especially against a tough team on the road, draws are acceptable, right? Would you rather see our team say ties are acceptable, or would you rather see them go for it? Now, before you answer that, just realize that as a fan, we always want to see teams go for it and say, I'd rather take a loss than a win. But at the same time, that's not always the smartest thing because you can leave points on the board really, really quick. But would you rather see, it's almost like what I'm kind of asking you is, would you rather say, I would rather be okay with a 9th, 10th place team, Or would I rather do a coin flip and have a third place team or third to last team? You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep. I would 100% always prefer going for it. Dennis Green once commented they are who they thought they were when the Cardinals lost to the Bears because they went for a 2-point conversion and they didn't make it. They thought they would. And he kind of yelled at the reporter. I would rather see us. Yeah, I would. No, if this is a don't play it safe or play it safe question, I'd rather not play it safe.
Yeah.
And I would rather lose with glory than win with just, I don't know, like inaction. I'd rather us go down, miss the playoffs by 6 points, knowing we could have drawn 4 or 5 of those games. I'd rather us go down with that than eke into the playoffs because we had 12 draws and we barely made it. I know. I don't know. Only because 24, we had what? 8 draws in a row, 10 draws. Like, we had an unbelievable amount of draws in a row. That's what wound up probably costing Carnell his job. The fact that we could not win a game. Yes, we didn't lose. It's edging, man. We went too long in 24 and 25 withdrawals. What about you?
Yeah. Dude, you said it best, right? You go for glory or you go down in at least, you go down with honor. It's kind of like Cleons, right? If you're a Star Trek fan, you guys are going to absolutely know this, right? They will take a battle they know they're going to lose because they're like, today is a good day to die. I would go for that. Yeah, I love it.
Yep.
Would you rather?
No, I think I'm all would you rather it out. How about this? Would you rather keep doing this and move on to the next game?
Man, this is so tough. I'm gonna say next game. What is it?
All right. So if you've listened to us in the past, we enjoy all of our new players. And last year I started a game called Guess That Player. And what I did was I picked players on our team that maybe new, maybe we don't know about, and I posed a question to AJ. And he had 3 chances to guess the player. And the first option was really hard, really kind of nebulous. And then the second option was a little easier. And then the third option was like, his name is Frank. And so it got easier. What I'm going to do this year is because we have so many new players. AJ, what I'm going to do is I have some of our players lined up for you. It's a multiple choice question. So instead of having to think, we got 1 out of 4 chance to get it right. I understand things are hard. So I got a question. You'll have 4 options and then you can guess. All right. So again, if you're playing along, try to listen to these hints and try to figure out if you know it. So number 1, which player joined St. Louis SC after signing from free agency and bringing MLS experience as a veteran defender? Daniel Edelman, Dante Polvera, Lucas McNaughton, or Mamadou Mbakafal?
So free agent. So technically, well, you didn't say Valum, McNaughton.
And these will be all new players.
Yeah. I'm going to, because I can't think of where McNaughton came from. I'm going to go with him.
Yeah, that is right. It was McNaughton. Yep, McNaughton. And it was kind of cool seeing it. By the way, and I think this may come up later, I think he's a really big dude. I don't think he's like a normal sized person. I think he's like a giant. So I think we'll see later. Number 2. So good. You get 12 cool points. Number 2. Woo. Which St. Louis City defender is known for playing as a left back and previously competed in the MLS with Orlando and Colorado? Daniel Edelman, Rafael Santos, Dante Polvera, or Lucas McNaughton?
Okay, so I think Edelman's the one that came from the Scottish side, I think, because I don't think Polvera did. I'm going to go with Polvera on this one.
It was Santos. If you remember, that was where he came from most recently was Orlando. Oh, no, he played at Orlando, and then we got him from Colorado. Because I think he either was on the field or he actually scored against us in one of the games where they were here last year. And I think I took my daughter to that one where Leuven missed a penalty kick earlier in the game. And we wound up just getting boxed in that game. We were so bad at that point. I got like 100 level tickets for like $30 a piece, 25 minutes before the game started. Yes.
No way.
It was insane. Like, we could like make out their face. It was so cool. So it was my first time taking just me and my daughter, and it was really special. So we spent the first half in our very awesome seats, and the second half I took her to the supporter section. So that was really cool. And she got to sing the songs, and she knew all the songs because I know them all, and so we got to have fun doing that. All right, number 3. Which player was signed from the Scottish club Aberdeen, and is notable for his 6'4" build and versatile midfield defensive role? Edelman, Santos, Polvera, or Fall?
Is it so Edelman and you said Polvera?
Yep. So I'll go through again. So the question was, which player was signed from the Scottish club Aberdeen and is notable for his 6'4" build? Daniel Edelman, Rafael Santos, Dante Polvera, or Fall?
Well, Edelman's not that tall though. I don't think. So it has to. Oh man. So I was thinking Edelman was the Scottish one. Yeah, but it has to be Polvera then.
It is Polvera. You are correct. So he's the big dude. All right, number 4. This one you might be able to get this one now. So you are what? 2 of 3. Which young American midfielder was acquired in a trade with New York Red Bulls? Dante Polvera, Daniel Edelman, Rafael Santos, or Lucas McNaughton?
Okay, yeah. Okay, this has to be Edelman because he's the youngin.
Yep,
he's
right.
He's the little one.
All right, and finally, number 5. Which St. Louis City defender joined from FC Barcelona and is a Senegal-born center back? Rafael Santos, Lucas McNaughton, Dante Polvera, or Mamadou Mbakefal?
Mbakefal.
Yeah. So, guys, one thing that I got in a lot of trouble with online was pointing out the fact that, yes, while Fall was technically employed by FC Barcelona, he never once played for the main team. He was in their two minor league. And boy, you would think that me pointing that out was pointing out that somehow water is wet. Like, yes, I get that he plays for
what?
Yeah, I get he played for technically the team Barcelona, but he never played for Barcelona. Like, let's not kid ourselves. This guy is a world-class soccer player. Let's not get that twisted, because that's what the team did. The team, all of the communication we had about this guy was signing from FC Barcelona. Like, no, come on. That's like saying we signed a player that played in the single A minor league system for the Cardinals, and so we traded him, and the other team says we picked up a St. Louis Cardinals player. Like, guy, you really didn't. But okay, Falls, I'm sure he's going to be great, but like, I think it's funny how we came up with the fact that it's FC Barcelona, which is not. It's really not. Okay, that's what I had. So congratulations, you got what, 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 5? Good job. As a teacher, I approve.
Yeah. Okay. So this is our favorite thing. This is our last game for today, and we're super excited about doing this. This is our predictions. This is where we particularly hold Steve to the fire all season long and laugh at his predictions because they're always wildly crazy and inaccurate. Just saying.
Okay, fine. Why don't you remind everyone how many points, if just in your memory, I thought the team would get last year? Let's just go ahead and just dress this out. What did I predict the team was gonna finish with the points and finish in the standings? It's probably not. You don't have to be 100% on the point, but I think we can get the emotion from it.
I think it was like 59 or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said 60 points. And then what did I predict the team was going to finish?
I think we were talking like 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, no, I think I predicted the team was going to win the West. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You know what got me? I think I mentioned it. So everyone, if you're still listening to this, they did it this year too. They had a City Live event. And they like pumped up the team. Twellman was there. They introduced the coach. Olaf was there with his somehow human chiseled chin and his beautiful hair. My wife's like, ooh, it got me hyped up, man. I bought into it. Hook, line, and sinker. I was like, this team is going to be amazing, with no data to back that up. No data to back it up. So, yeah. So we're 1 game in. So it might be a little kind of weird, but so let's do our predictions. You want to do it all? We just do the R3, or you want to bounce back and forth here?
Yeah, let's bounce back. Let's start with points, because I think that's the big thing. Where are we going to be in the standings and points?
Okay.
Real quick, just for people listening, because I want you guys to make your predictions too. Okay, feel free to message us on Reddit, Discord, whatever. So if I'm looking at the supporter shield section, or section on FOTMob here, Philadelphia had 66 points, so that's the top of the league, and DC United with the wooden spoon had 26. And just for memory's sake, we had 32 points, and that put us at 24th. So not to throw around too much more numbers here, but the playoff line last year for the West was 41 points. So we go from the West, we went from 63 to 28 points, where 41 was the marker. So that's a big number to kind of remember. Is typically it's about 40 to 44 points every year is the playoff line.
So
So
right now,
what I
before we
have for
go,
you,
right now, City's in first place in the West with
yeah, because we're
1 point. We're first
Woo!
first place. Shut it down.
How many points do you think, Steve?
Okay, so again, last year we finished with, you went for the Shield. I'm going for the West. So last year we finished 34 points. We were 13th in the West. I think well, actually, we had 32 points. Jesus Christ, that's so bad. So I'm basing what I saw today. It is a little biased because I have what I saw. Right now, I'm predicting that we're going to finish with 40. I think we're going to finish with 40 points. If I don't really see us blowing anyone out of the water. And so of course we're going to miss the playoffs, and I predict we're going to finish in 11th in the West. Yeah.
10th, okay.
However,
Why?
that because I don't see us scoring
Okay.
unless you draw. We're both kind of new to this whole soccer thing, but you do technically have to score more than the other team to win it's not a game, it's called a match. So to win a match, you technically your finished score, the number needs to be higher or bigger than your opponent's. And I don't think that we have the personnel to have a bigger number at the end of a lot of our games this year. But okay, go ahead.
So what you're saying is you have to score more goals and you got to be bigger than your opponent. That sounds kind of gross, Steve. You know this is a family show, right?
Yeah, well, I like to grow. You know what? Maybe our team is a grower, not a shower. Who knows? Who knows? Because right now, what we saw today, we're definitely not a shower. Yeah, we're okay. But I don't consider that a failure. I don't consider. For me, this team cannot be playoffs or bust based on the fact that we were so pathetic last year. I do think that if we finish higher than 13th, that this is right now based on where this team is, it's a win. So yeah, my point prediction is what 40 points. We're going to finish within the West. What about you?
Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to take a little bit further and I'm going to kind of tell you the timeline of what I think is going to happen. I think, especially because we have a new system, I think we're going to look better in the first 5 or so games because teams don't know how to plan against us. This is a new coach. They don't know what he will do and react to. But I think they're going to start to figure us out. We're going to start to struggle between around game 11 or so. And then I predict that during this transfer window in the summer that we will get a DP striker. And then when they join us in mid-August, it's going to give us a late season boost. So
Okay.
that all being said, you're like, okay, who cares? But what's your numbers? Okay.
I think it's great. I hope so. I hope you're right. Prove me wrong, kids.
I think we're not going to be battling for 9th. I think we're going to be battling for 8th here. I think that's pretty realistic. I think it's shown that DeMay has taken players that were otherwise trash last year and turned them to actually relatively decent players. I think we have better players than what Olaf and others have shown. I think we're battling for 8th here. So I'm going to say, just based on last year's standings, I'm going to go with 40.
So yeah, I think that's ambitious. So we're better than Real Salt Lake, San Jose, Colorado, Houston, Galaxy, and Sporting. For what you're thinking, then.
Well, I think San Jose is going to shock us this year. Just
they
throw that out there.
I think they did. They weren't. They made the playoff. I think they just barely missed the playoffs last year, or they did make the playoffs last year. They made the playoffs the very last week. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
And I think Galaxy. I think LA is going to figure it out. I mean, they've got Klaus as their main striker, so they're going to miss a lot of goals. But let's just be honest. Let's be honest. Like, I don't know how much he was missed today. I don't know how much of an impact he would have made. But anyway, we don't have to worry about that because he's not here. It would be nice to make the playoffs and make the playoffs in a solid fashion.
So speaking of missing goals, right? We're going to look at our goal total for the entire team and make our predictions. I'm going to give you guys some heads up here. So we had 44 goals last year. To give you some numbers here, the highest I saw was Vancouver, which was second in the West. They had 66 goals for. And then the lowest was what was the lowest? We weren't the lowest, were we? No, Austin FC had 37 goals for. Salt Lake had 38, both playoff teams, by the way, and we were the third lowest at 44. Third lowest at 44, highest was 66. Where do you think we're going to end up?
I think we're going to have 38 goals.
You think we're going to go down, like literally the worst in the entire conference?
I think there'll be some teams below us. I don't possibly see, unless we do somehow get an amazing. So we had what, 44 goals last year? Is that what you said?
Correct.
Klaus had 10 of those.
We
haven't replaced them. So right now, and Klaus scored 3 of those goals early in the season. So we're looking at, we haven't made a growth on our goals right now. Now, prove me wrong if we do get this other fall that scored 2 goals last year that to replace Klaus, but I don't see it. I don't see us scoring more goals than that, unless of course we do get a striker later in the season. But I have to go on what we have right now, so I'm going 38 goals just because we haven't replaced the goal scorers. What about you? I mean, you have us in 8th place. You're going to have over 40 goals.
Yeah, I mean, Salt Lake last year had 38. Portland, that was the number 9 team. Number 8 team had 41. But Dallas at number 7 had 52. And Austin at number 6 had 37. But they had a great defense, though. So I'm going to go with this, okay? I'm going to go with my goal total here. We had 44 this year, and 66 was a high. I'm going to say 47. And the reason why I'm saying this is I agree with you. We lost Klaus. However, what we saw today, at least, is we have a coach that knows how to progress the ball. The biggest thing that we did not have last year is we couldn't get through the frickin' midfield, and we never saw the final third. So I don't care if we had Klaus. I don't care if we had another DP striker. They never had a chance. I think with this coaching staff, with our current players, there's going to be some chances. Now, I agree with you. We don't have any finishers, but at some point, like, come on, Steve, like this game here, if there was just a little bit of luck sprinkled on us, this is a 2-1, 3-1 game.
Yeah, man, but luck be damned. Like this team really kind of survived on vibes last year. In 2024, guess how many goals the team had?
I don't remember.
47.
Okay.
So the team had 47 goals, and we finished 24th on the table. Hopefully we score better. Hopefully, like the West those teams have to get worse ahead of us, which, okay, I'm sure it might happen. So I like how we are vastly different. Who do you have for your high scorer? So the player that scores the most goals on our team, and how many goals does he get?
You know, I know this kind of sounds crazy because our high this past year was Klaus at 10, if I recall, right?
Yep.
I was thinking for Hartel, just because of how involved I think he's going to have on the defense. Believe it or not, I was thinking about 7.
For Hartel?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's ironic. I also have Hartel as our lead scorer. I have him at 6 goals.
Ooh, okay.
So that's interesting.
I like this. Okay, so just as a recap for anybody listening, and I'm really curious what everybody else has here. For number of points this season, Steve has 40 points at 11th place. I have 45 points at 8th place, right? That's only a 5-point difference. Not much there. Steve has 38 goals for team. I have 47. So we are vastly different, at least on our goals. At least with the points, it's relatively close, right? Like we're both kind of saying like if we're just above or just below the playoff line. Then we both think Hartel, which I think is realistic because even if we get DP striker, they're not going to probably get into first place on the team. And you're saying 6, I'm saying 7. So obviously the goal production in my mind has to come from a lot of other players.
Yeah.
So this is going to be some fun prediction. Okay.
There's going to be some weird players scoring goals. Like I think in your scenario, Berkey somehow scores his goal. We keep talking about Berkey scoring his goal. At some point, you remember that, guys, you have to remember when Berkey got pissed off because we were so pathetic last year that he just like booted the ball as hard as he could and almost got it to the goal. Like he just was so frustrated. And so maybe Berkey gets one over the goalkeeper's head this year and gets one of our goals.
Dude, that would be so worth it. Anyways, that's all I got today. What do you got?
That's it, man. I think it was a fun experience having the first game of the entire season. It was good that like I said, it was good it happened this morning or at 1:30 because I I'm sure I'm looking right now. It would be 29 degrees at game time. And so it was probably close to 40 with the sun out. So it was a good time to get it in. Got the jerseys out of the way. Everyone gets to see them. We didn't lose. We didn't lose.
Yeah, we didn't win either.
Well, we didn't lose. And I didn't stick around, but American Authors was playing out there. And if you don't know who they are, I had a guy, I'm like, I don't know who it is. The song Best Day of My Life, that's them.
Oh, yeah.
That's them.
Nice.
Very generic band, but they got to open up today. So that was really cool. They were there for our first concert before the game. And it was good seeing all the people. It was good being downtown for a soccer match. So, you know what? We're back in here. It's February. It's soccer time.
Legit.
And we have one more thing we have to do before we go, right?
What is that, Steve?
You have to go look around, find a person near you, kick him in the face, stand over him, look down, and scream, "All for City, baby!" And then mic drop on him. Bye, guys.